Hello developers, welcome back to the channel OnlyCode, and as we are running series fundamental series of JavaScript. So today we are going to start means an introduction video for OOPS. What is OOPS? Object oriented programming. Okay. Now this OOPS is very famous and it is asked lot of time in interviews, in whether it's a JavaScript interview, it's a DSA question, or whatever you can say. Less in DSA questions because that's basically for more of the data structure things. But yes, technically it has been asked in some of the rounds, right? So OOPS is basically highly important for the coding world. Now, what's an OOPS is? Basically, OOPS means is uh, whenever we play around objects. Okay, this is the layman way of saying what's an OOPS is really. What's the definition of OOPS? So object oriented programming is basically a pattern, you can say. Okay, pattern or paradigm, if I can write properly. Okay, with not actions, functions, but with objects. Okay, so what does it means? Obviously you know what's an object is, right? An object is basically an object is a kind of data structure where we can store a key value pair. Okay, not a key value pair but a key value pairs. Okay, and this key value, this can be the value can either be in a string, an array, or integer type, anything. Okay, so object is very much important for coding world, right? And so the oops is. Okay, so how does an object looks like? And let's here make an file with folder with oops. And as this is the first video in oops, so script1.js. And yeah, let's see what's an oops object looks like actually, if you have forgotten. Const object, open curly braces, key value pair. So name John, name is key, then value is John. Okay, age, key, age, value John. Okay, this is quick recap, nothing else. And let me give this name a better one, person. Okay, now we can access this person as a whole. We can access this person object, the specific data also, person dot name. Okay, and we can access person age 2, right? Now let's go to the terminal, run the go to the proper directory, and then clear the terminal, run the script 1.js. Okay, so there is a, yeah, this syntax is wrong. Okay, clear terminal, run, node script 1.js. Okay, so first we have printed console log the person object itself, object, and then the name. Means we have then accessed the one key value pair of an object person. Okay, cool. Now we always hear name called class, something called class. What's a class? A class is just a blueprint. Okay, blueprint to create an object, nothing else. To create an object. Why we need this? We need this class because we want things to be dynamic. Okay, what does this means? See, this is person, name John, age 30, right? Person is an object, but what I need is this name should be dynamic. I should pass this name and age as a parameter to like a function, like we do in function, and this will immediately give me the person object in return. How we can do this? For this we have to create a class. So class, okay, person, let me give it a proper name, person class. Right now I'm doing this because I want to do this. Okay, and simply this dot name let me hard code this thing right now and we will talk about this later. Okay, okay, cool. But it is showing some error. Why? Because we need a constructor. Of course we need a constructor. Okay, let's remove this thing and right now hard code this thing, name and age. Okay, just focus into this, just focus on into this, we will go much deeper later on. So class, person class, name John, age 30. Okay, that's it. Cool. Now let me create a variable with this person1 equals to new person. So this is the way we can create a class. Okay, and then just we can create an we can call a class like this with keyword new to call its constructor, which although we are not using, means we are not doing the constructor work right here, but we will do it later in this video. So just be with it. Okay, and you will get to know what's happening. And let's comment out this two part, not only this two part, this whole thing. Yeah, let's see what does this give me. So node script.js, script1.js, what it gave me: person class, name John, age 30. Person1 dot name, what does this give me? John. Okay, good. But why we need actually this class thing? So that we should not have to hard code things. Rather we will make things dynamic. Okay, okay, cool. So you have in many syntaxes you will see that this new word is always should be there, will always should be there before calling a class, something like this person class. So person class is a class, of course. And whenever you have seen any of the syntaxes in internet, you should see while calling a person class to store the object into a person one variable as an object, we always use word new. Okay, but is this possible if we remove the word new? No. Why? Because whenever we create a constructor, kind of constructor, we have something called sorry, class, we have something called constructor by default into it. Okay, and this constructor is very much important. Why? Because of the dynamicities. What we can do is we will take here name and age. Okay, and rather calling this name and age here, we can call this dot name equals to name, this dot age is equals to age. Okay, so what we have learned that a class by default has its constructor whether we define or not. Okay, now what this constructor do? This constructor allows a class to take a variable or to take sorry, function parameters, just like we do in functions. Now what the word this means? So here this is actually pointing out the class we are making in that instance. Okay, so whenever we call in person one, inside person one we call new person class, it actually make an object, right? So this instantiate an object actually. Okay, now if we will pass here name, suppose Kate, and age 23. Okay, this will create an object, instantiate an object, and the word this is being used to point, this is being refers or point to the current instance of the class. Okay, now if you are getting overwhelmed with this, with the word this, then please check out the video in my fundamental series of JS. Okay, the playlist, you will get one of the best videos in the internet with the with lots of details with the keyword this. Okay, and you will find yourself with very much comfortable with this logics. Okay, I'm just revising things here while uh, while uh, while teaching, while tutoring about classes and objects. Now we have called with new the constructor and the class passing Kate, name 23, age. Let's see what happens. Node script.js, So if we console log person1 dot name, now we are getting Kate. But what if I will uh, console the whole person? It will give person class an object named Kate age 23, okay, and Kate. So why we make class? Because we want to create a blueprint of it to create an object. Now we can instantiate that object, storing it to a variable, okay, with using the keyword new, so that we can call the constructor of the class and pass the function, pass the parameters, and make the dynamic class in use. Okay, yeah. So now I have some things to show you. And what's that? In JavaScript, this class thing came later on, very much recently it came by, okay, in either 2015, 16, or maybe before that, but it was quite late. Rather, in other languages it came far before, means it came quite before than it came in JavaScript. So how then in JavaScript, before classes has been introduced by ES6, how we as a programmer would make a blueprint of an object to make things dynamic. For that, we always call function constructor, okay, to create a object. Now into that we have a convention. Okay, what's that? The word, that is the function name, should be capitalized. So person class demo function, okay, we are accepting again the two parameters name age, and let's take one more, not address. Then what should we take? Maybe standard, okay. And then again using the this keyword, let's just let's just make the object blueprint, okay. Now what we have to do is const person2 is equals to new. Again we have to write new to call it as a function constructor, okay. So this is, if we use new and capitalize the words, then you will get to know that this is function constructor, okay. Again we will pass not Kate right now, but something else, dummy, and age 22, not 22, basically 20, and of course 12th standard, okay. Now let's console the person2, and let's see. And one more thing, we will also console person2 dot name, okay. Let's see what it gives us. First let's clear the screen, and now node-1.js. See, again it is giving me uh object person class to demo function, okay. And in that object we can also access the name, okay. So this is basic of class function constructor, basic of oops, why we need oops. Now we have lots of concept with oops part, we will discover that in later videos, okay. Let's make it things short and crisp. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.